Welcome to the 7th video in our training series. My name is Jamie, and in this video I'll be presenting the basic functions of the Harvester module and demonstrating a basic setup. Let's begin. The Harvester module is truly the engine of the software, and we believe it'll change the way you trade Forex. Within this module we're creating what we call harvesters, which are essentially a number of orders which work together in executing a broader trading strategy for each pair we wish to trade. In other words, every harvester we create is a sequence of trades that belong in the same family, if you will. The sequence of trades in each family are created by the same conditions and governed by the same parameters and functions that we select. All trades within a particular harvester are managed in exactly the same way. As traders, we all have signals that we're looking for when we're contemplating entering and exiting trades. Sometimes these include just a few basic signals, but for some traders, a number of signals must come together at the same time in order to make the trade appealing enough to enter. This software is designed to help traders specify which of their desired conditions must be met to place a trade, and how the trade is to be handled once placed. A trader has the flexibility of using the Forex however he or she prefers, which we know you'll find is quite different than any EAs or trading robots, which are pre-programmed strategies built on past performance on optimized historical price activity. That's not how the Forex works. You're actually in control of this system. I would also like to explain in this video the broad concepts driving the development of the software, as these concepts will make understanding the way the software was created to work that much easier for you. The basic concept upon which the Harvester module was developed is that when the market is trending, the harvester we create recognizes our signals and captures, or harvests, profits from the trend. With the software, the trader has the ability to build a position in the direction of the trend by opening and subsequently closing portions of positions in profit and letting the remaining portions run, by protecting the remaining open positions with trailing stops. It can continue placing more and more trades in the direction of the trend, and closing and/or protecting them until such time as the trend changes. In short, the Harvester module builds upon the manual deal in a way that allows us to build positions in trending markets and extract profits automatically. With this basic understanding, let's now approach the software as if we intend to build a strategy. Let's first go into our Trends module and pick a pair we'd like to trade. Now, when we enter the harvester, we can choose our symbol here. We have the option of trading in either direction on a pair, and for the purpose of our example, we'll trade in the direction of the trending pair we've just selected from the Trends module. I'd like to note, however, that if we choose Buy, the Ask Start Price box is up here. And if we select Sell, it's down here below the Get Last button. The Get Last button fills in the current market price for the pair. We have the option of either selecting a specific price to start trading, or if we prefer, we can set a trigger based in pips, so that if the market begins to move a certain number of pips in the direction of our trade, we can place an order to enter the movement. We would do this simply by inputting, say, 10 in the Trigger Move box and selecting Current Price here. This tells the software that if the market should move 10 pips from the current price in the direction of our trade, to start trading. Now, you may be asking, how do I know whether or not this 10 pip move is part of a larger trend in the direction of my trade? We'll get into that a little bit more when we go into the Advanced Harvester setup, where we'll let market signals make that decision for us. You'll recall from the Open Deals window tutorial that we can specify individual open deal windows for our trades to go into once they're executed. This adds a little more functionality to the management of our trades. I know that I don't have any trades assigned to Open Deals window number 5 right now, So let's now go ahead and assign this harvester to open deal window number 5. The trade interval is simply the distance we'd like the market to move before we open new positions. In other words, it's the distance between each trade we place, specified in pips. Let's just put 25 in here for now, and we're telling the software only to place a new trade every 25 pips in the direction we've specified in the operation window. You may ask, why would I want to specify a trade interval? Well, let's just assume the market is trading within a range of, say, 100 pips, and it's not truly trending. In a situation like this, we don't necessarily want to have all of our trades open on the same price, because if the market turns against us and we're overloaded on one price in one direction, we either suffer greater losses or we find our accounts bogged down with losing trades, waiting for the market to turn back in our favor and in the meantime missing opportunities elsewhere. Our goal here is to manage our trades rather than gamble with our trading accounts, and the trade interval helps us achieve this. Now we can tell the software how many working orders we'd like to place. Let's say 2 for this demonstration, but like all the numbers I'm entering here, you can use whatever you like. As a general rule, the number of trades we select for each harvester depends on the previously set up trade interval, the volatility of the currency we're trading, and the expected move on a given time frame. On short-term time frames, we might want to cover a price move of a maximum of 15 to 35 pips, get our quick profits, and get out. Using a longer-term trend signal might warrant covering a price move of, say, 75 pips and even more. Of course, we'll be trading less often, but there's greater potential for a larger average profit. If we select the checkmark box next to "These initial deals only," the harvester will only open 2 deals. The initial deals checkmark box might be most useful to those just starting out with the software and to those with smaller accounts. Once traders become more acclimated to the use of the software, they may begin using this less and less and possibly choose instead to place parameters that will stop the harvester based on market conditions. We'll delve into this a little bit more in the next tutorial, and even more in our advanced tutorials. If we select 1 deal per trade interval, we're telling the software not to open any trades within 25 pips of one another on the restart of the harvester, excluding trades that are protected. In the manual deals tutorial, we talked about protecting our trades. So again, what we're saying when we say that a trade is not protected is that the trade has not reached a point of profit at which a trailing stop is triggered. You'll notice that 1 deal per trade interval says right below it in parentheses, ignored on FPs or free positions. This means that if once our previously unprotected trade reaches a point of profit, for which we've specified a stopgap to be triggered, it is now protected and cannot lose money. And the software will recognize this and place a new trade 25 pips away from the point at which the market turned back in the direction of our initial trade, regardless of whether or not it is within 25 pips of the protected trade. We now have the option of selecting another box entitled "Don't start another run until Orphans close," and another box entitled "Ignore when Orphans positive." Orphans are a little different than just unprotected trades, and I'll explain. There may be times when the harvester stops because the market has turned against us, and surely we'll be getting into the reasons that the harvester stops based on how we choose to stop it. But for now, let's suppose we've placed a series of trades, and let's say 3 have hit profit targets, and we've taken half of each trade off the table, and let the other half of each trade run with a trailing stop behind it. These trades are protected. Now let's say our 4th trade hasn't hit its profit target when the market turns against us. The other trades may close because their trailing stops get triggered, but this trade is still out there, all alone, without its harvester family. We call this trade an orphan. The orphan is still being managed by the software, and if managed properly will eventually close in profit. But for now, this little trade is having a pretty rough time, and we want to make sure that we limit the amount of these orphans that we have out there. We may wish therefore to be conservative when restarting the harvester and wait until the orphan is finally closed, or at least has found itself in positive territory once again. These 2 checkmark boxes work in tandem to accomplish this. There are a few more advanced features on this side of the window that we'll address in the advanced tutorials, but for now, let's take a look at the stop parameters in the middle of the window. There are several ways that we can stop the harvester. We have the option of selecting a start time and a stop time if there are periods that we do and/or do not want the harvester trading. We can also opt to only stop the harvester manually by clicking this box here. We can specify a reversal of, let's say, 150 pips. And what we're telling the software here is that if the market goes 150 pips in the opposite direction of any trade we have open, to stop the harvester. If we were to select the box which says, when stopped, start harvester ID blank, we could actually create a daisy chain effect and create a new set of trades that begin once this harvester has been stopped. And we would do this by clicking this box and adding in the ID for the next harvester. Ultimately, we could have an unlimited number of harvesters, and they could all start and stop based on any parameters that we choose. Hopefully by now you're beginning to see just how flexible this software really is. Now, once the harvester stops, we have a couple of options for how to close our open trades. We can close all deals by clicking the Close All Open Deals on Harvester Stop command, which will close all open trades when the market goes against us, or we can click the box below this to specify that we only want to close all of the deals only if the summary is positive, meaning that the total of the trades is in profit. We can also then select this box to not close any free positions on the harvester stop, because the ones that are free have a trailing stop and can simply trail themselves out as a worst case scenario. But if they don't trail out and the market begins to move back in the original direction, we would already have trades open in that direction, which can be profitable. Now we need to specify a deal formula. We double-click within the deal formula box and the deal formula window pops open. This should look familiar from the manual deal we set up in the earlier tutorial. Again, we specify the size of our trade. Let's just say 10 mini lots here. And we hope to achieve a profit of, say, 300 pips. And we'll put, say, 45 in the profit stop. And we'll opt to close half of our position, or 5 mini lots, at the 45 pip profit and let the rest run. We'll enter, let's say, 35 in the stopgap for the mini lots we're letting run. And we'll specify a trailing stop of 10 over 5, telling the software that for every 10 pips the market moves in our direction, we want to move our stop 5 pips. If we choose, we can opt for a stop loss by entering it here. If we'd like to set up a trade recovery strategy in case the market goes against us, we have the option of that as well by entering it in this box below. But for now we won't be doing this, and we'll address this in an advanced tutorial. Again, I'll note that the deal formula is being constructed in shorthand in the window at the bottom here, and we can see that we have selected 10 mini lots to trade, 5 of which will close at our profit stop. The total profit we hope to achieve here is 300 pips. Our trailing formula shows a profit stop of 45, a stop gap of 35, and every time the market moves 10 pips, our stop increases 5 pips. If we would have selected a stop loss, it would show up in brackets here. Now the deal formula is set, so let's click OK. Once we click Add, we'll see our harvester in the window at the bottom. At the moment, I have a number of harvesters open, so let's scroll down here and find this new harvester we've just set up. And here it is. The software is assigned a harvester ID here on the left, and we see our symbol and our direction here. We see the deal formula, the start price move in pips, the interval, the working orders, and the status. Let's make sure at this point that this harvester is stopped, because we need to tell the harvester what our conditions are for trading first through the advanced management operation. The advanced management operation will take our trading to the next level, but because this operation provides us with such a vast array of options, I'll be addressing it in its own video. This concludes the first video tutorial for the harvester. Thanks for watching. If you're ready, please proceed to the final video in our series entitled Harvester Module Video 2, where we'll be exploring the options available to us through the advanced management operation.